Hey guys, hope everyone's doing well today. It's the day of the eclipse. It's how long is it? What time is the eclipse at? Let me see here. Where I am. What time is the eclipse? What? That can't be right. Huh. I thought it was at like 3 something. It peaks at 3:25 p.m. Got it. Huh. Why did for some reason I thought it would happen quickly. I get it though. I'll have to go look because that's been going now for 8 minutes, but I'll take this camera and I'll point it when it gets completely dark, I guess. It's too bad it doesn't happen quickly, right? Because I would have liked to show them that on camera, but anyways, maybe or maybe not, and I'll put it in one of my edited videos that I am in the process of editing. This video is, I think, as emergent, as serious as things can get, and as far as trying to get better, trying to get to know God. Sin. I made a video not too long ago, I titled it spiritual or psychological sickness, illness, whatever. And I go on to say, that there's many things. There's bipolar, there's schizophrenia, there's anxiety, there's all these different things. And I say those were for those illnesses, but some of them are full of demons. They really are. How do you tell the difference, right? This one is in general. This one is for everyone. We all sin, and before we came to know God, right? If we just look at the world and the way, if I go back and I imagine the way I was with the world, what was I like? Surely I swore. You might say, you swear, you don't swear anymore. No, I really don't. Sometimes I do. But I mean, like when you're speaking with people, you cut that out. Don't look at things like porn. You don't engage in sin. You know what sins those are. There's just so many different types of sin. Sin makes us it puts a veil, a partitioning wall between us and God. That's what it does. People walk around, and I know I did certainly, everyone does, and obviously it's on some type of spectrum depending on what you do in life, with guilt from sins, from whatever it is. I don't know. For some reason, I just can't think of all the sins at once, right? You know what I'm talking about. The only way to find true peace in this life, I'm telling you. Well, I'd say number one, open up the Bible and read Scripture. If you have a bad life, if you're looking at porn all the time, if you're doing drugs, if you smoke cigarettes, smoke marijuana, if you're a slothful person, if you're a really vulgar person, you're a mean-spirited person, you don't want to be like that anymore, you're an atheist, you're against God, and finally you've had enough, you don't feel well spiritually, well, I'm telling you, the only way to find that peace is to kill that sin. A lot of people would laugh at that type of that's what I just said. But the reality is, how are you going to know otherwise? People are always in a quest looking to feel better, through food, through movies, through all these types of things, and they can never find it. They're always engaging in sin, and that can be sexual sins, fornication, whatever, anything, abortion, I'm just speaking about every single sin. You know how a drug, like say you're on an opiate, say you smoke cigarettes, say you're on an antidepressant, all these things have, say you eat a lot of sugar, you do all that type of stuff, you drink a lot of soda, you are constantly on your device, on Facebook, on all the social media. Well, what happens, especially with something like an opiate, is when you go to take it away, you have a withdrawal, and that withdrawal can be pretty terrifying. And it can be terrifying for all of them. In reading scripture and starting to learn with an open heart, with faith towards God, not opening up the Bible with unbelief. Because if you open the Bible with unbelief, you're not going to get anywhere, I tell you. Well, it's not to say you won't, but that's no way to go into the Bible. Just like when you take away an opiate, like when you take away an antidepressant, when you don't have that cigarette, you're going to feel pretty horrible. It's no different with every sins that we do. Like stop swearing, stop having sex stop sleeping around, stop going on the internet and looking at porn sites, whatever types of sin it is. What happens is when you try to stop doing it, it's like you almost start trying to justify, like, oh, I just want to do this once more type thing. And you wonder why you feel shame, and you wonder why you have no peace in your life. If you take a stepwise and a wise approach to this, start taking those things that are called sin out of your life one by one. Kill your sin. It may be painful at first, but eventually you'll get the hang of it. And I couldn't express this in that other video I made about spiritual or psychological, because there are psychological conditions, there are brain conditions you can see on MRIs, CTs, and so this is the way you do it. You stop sinning, and you don't give up. And what I believe is you'll eventually find that you have more peace. And then when you start to realize that you have more peace because you're not doing these things, then you start to recognize, hey, I cut out sin from my life. I feel happier. I feel better. So come up with a strategy. It doesn't matter what that strategy is, but cut it all out. And then here's what happens. The free grace people come out and say, well, we all sin and this and that. Listen, if you think that we can go willingly sin, then you're deceived. For hundreds of years, we preached to stop sinning. We all fall short of the glory of God. I showed you in a previous video where this free grace, we are saved by grace through faith alone, came from Martin Luther, but people started to think we didn't have to keep the commandments, in which we do. Listen, just do your best. Just stop trying to sin. If you stop sinning and doing all these behaviors, let's just say it's pornography, okay? Because that's a big one in this world right now. Days of Noah. I was in it. I was in it for a lot of my life. And it left me feeling a lot of shame, of which I won't explain why. but you can only guess yourself, you're watching, you're likely the same. Get rid of those things, because what I'm expressing to you, the epitome of what I'm saying, of where it will get you if you stop doing these things, is you'll start to be pure inside. All those actions that you're partaking in are the things that are making you sick, are the things that are bringing those demons. So stop sinning as much as you can. We still all sin with our minds, like Jesus said. Like we still, if you look at a woman with lust, I say to you, you commit adultery within your heart, and that's true. Those are the unwilling sins. Those happen automatically, and you can't blame yourself for those. Those are the devil, man. But to not want to be into God, to love God, and to want to be like Him, but yet keep sinning, that goes against everything that we're taught in Scripture. So if you want to feel clean, white as snow, right? Have our sins cleansed white as snow and not some dirty rag, then stop sinning, and at least God will know, Yahweh will know that you're at least making an attempt to get to that spot. I'm telling you, this is the way to find and feel that peace inside. I still have horrible times. Listen, guys, I have autism. I have a type of bipolar disorder. I get thoughts that come into my mind sometimes, I tell you, that feel insane. And I realize that they're not my own. They're not my own. And I can't do much to stop those. But at least I feel clean with the things that I have in my control. God bless, guys. I have a couple videos coming out that I'm just slowly editing them. And have fun with watching the eclipse. I don't know if I'll videotape it actually, because it's happening so slowly. Maybe I'll do it when it's at its peak. So where I am, it gets to 99%. So let's hope nothing bad happens. I don't believe it will. I believe it's a 40-day warning. Could be 3 months, 7 months. I believe something will come of it, though. So God bless, guys.